Have you ever wondered how one of the largest and most complex machines ever created by humans is built? Behind a colossal aircraft carrier, there is not only steel and engines, but also years of planning, thousands of specialists working at the same time, and an industrial chain capable of coordinating gigantic parts with millimetric precision. Let's go inside the shipyards to discover, step by step, how a true floating city is made. From the first digital blueprints to the assembly of hundreds of tons of modules, the installation of critical systems, and the final tests before touching the sea for the first time. The manufacturing process of a large tonnage aircraft carrier begins many years before the first piece of steel is cut. In this initial stage, the operational, structural, and technological requirements that the ship must meet during several decades of service are defined. Unlike other military vessels, a new generation aircraft carrier is not based on previous models, but is conceived as a completely new platform. This involves developing systems that do not yet exist in operational versions and designing the structure around technologies that, in many cases, are still in the experimental phase. Once the general parameters are established, the naval engineering teams create three-dimensional digital models that integrate the hull structure, internal compartments, propulsion systems, electrical network, fluid ducts, living spaces, and technical areas. These models are not just simple blueprints. They function as simulators that anticipate structural stresses, vibrations, weight distribution, and the ship's dynamic behavior under different sea conditions. Every modification to one system affects the rest of the design, so the integration work is constant and extends over several years. With the advanced structural design, the shipyard prepares the facilities for modular construction. Instead of building the ship as a single piece, the aircraft carrier is divided into large steel sections that are produced independently in different workshops. Each module includes part of the hull and, in many cases, a significant portion of the internal systems. This allows multiple teams to work in parallel, speeding up the overall manufacturing process. The manufacturing of the modules begins with the cutting of high-strength steel plates using automated plasma and laser systems. These pieces are shaped, welded, and reinforced to form structural sections capable of withstanding extreme loads. Each block can weigh hundreds of tons and must meet extremely precise dimensional tolerances. A deviation of a few millimeters can prevent the sections from fitting correctly during the final assembly. As the production of the structural modules progresses, other specialized teams work in parallel on the early installation of the internal systems that will allow the ship to function once assembled. Inside each block, before its final union, the ducts for laying electrical cables, pipes for fuel transport, drinking water and cooling circuits, ventilation ducts, and structural supports for electronic and control equipment are integrated. This pre-installation stage is key as it allows much of the work to be done in more accessible conditions, with more space to maneuver tools and heavy equipment. This reduces the need for intervention in confined and hard-to-reach spaces once the modules have been assembled, which improves operational efficiency, shortens final assembly times, and decreases the likelihood of errors or costly rework. In parallel, the electrical grid of the aircraft carrier is designed and deployed following criteria similar to the energy infrastructure of a medium-sized city. Extensive cable networks are installed, running through all levels of the ship, along with energy distribution systems, control centers, internal substations, and overload protection mechanisms. The electrical architecture incorporates redundancies at critical points to ensure that, in the event of a partial failure or localized damage, essential systems can continue to operate without major interruptions. This design includes multiple levels of backup for navigation equipment, surveillance and control radars, air operations management systems, and internal and external communication platforms. Additionally, alternative electrical supply routes are implemented to isolate damaged sections without compromising the overall operation of the ship, ensuring a high level of reliability in demanding operational conditions. One of the most sensitive and complex aspects of the manufacturing process is the integration of the nuclear propulsion system. The compartments designed to house the reactors are built with multiple layers of shielding, containment structures, and special reinforcements aimed at isolating the nuclear components from the rest of the ship and protecting both the crew and nearby systems. These spaces incorporate high-strength materials, radiological protection barriers, and environmental control systems that maintain stable temperature and pressure conditions. The installation of the reactors requires extreme precision, as any misalignment, welding defect, or assembly error could lead to failures that are inaccessible for correction once the hull is closed and the compartments are sealed. For this reason, each stage of the process is documented, inspected, and validated through rigorous quality control procedures. This phase is carried out under strict safety protocols, with restricted access, continuous monitoring, and the ongoing supervision of specialized technical bodies that certify compliance with nuclear and structural safety regulations. In parallel with the integration of the nuclear system, the components of the mechanical propulsion system are installed, transforming the energy generated into effective movement of the ship. This includes the installation of the drive shafts, gear systems, support bearings, and large-diameter propellers. Each of these elements must be aligned with millimetric precision to ensure smooth and stable operation over long periods of service. Incorrect alignment can cause persistent vibrations, increased mechanical wear, and in the long term, structural damage to the hull and internal supports. Before the compartments are permanently closed, dry rotation tests, dimensional checks, and tolerance controls are conducted to confirm that all components rotate uniformly without interference or imbalance. These preliminary checks reduce the risk of failures once the ship enters service and help ensure the reliability of the propulsion system throughout its operational life. Once the manufacturing of the modules is completed, the assembly phase begins in the dry dock. In this stage, large capacity cranes lift each block and position it with minimal tolerances, as alignment must be exact to ensure the structural continuity of the hull. Welding and assembly teams progressively join the sections, forming the main structure of the ship by integrating all the prefabricated modules. This process is one of the most delicate of the entire construction because any deviation in the fitting of the pieces can cause misalignments in later stages, affect the installation of internal systems, or compromise the strength of the structure. When an error is detected, corrections must be made, which may involve partial disassemblies, rework of the joints, and structural adjustments, leading to significant delays in the overall construction schedule and an increase in the time required to complete the work. With the main structure unified, the installation of internal decks, bulkheads, and support systems continues. The various levels of the ship are created, including technical areas, maintenance spaces, control centers, and crew living areas. Each level must meet specific requirements for strength, sound insulation, and fire protection. The flight deck is built as a reinforced structure capable of withstanding the constant impact of heavy aircraft. Braking systems, heat-resistant surfaces, and vibration-absorbing mechanisms are installed. This platform is treated with special coatings that improve the adhesion of aircraft tires and reduce wear caused by the high temperatures generated during takeoffs and landings. In parallel, the electromagnetic launch systems are integrated. These systems require large amounts of energy and precise coordination between mechanical, electrical, and control components. The installation involves placing rails, linear motors, sensors, and control systems that must function in synchronization. Each catapult is tested individually before being integrated into the ship's overall system. Aircraft and ammunition elevators are installed as large internal structures connecting the hangars to the flight deck. These mechanisms must support heavy loads and operate continuously under demanding conditions. The alignment of rails, platforms, and hydraulic or electrical systems is essential to prevent blockages or failures during the actual operation of the aircraft carrier. Once the structural and main system integration is complete, the hull is closed and the interior is conditioned. HVAC systems, thermal and acoustic insulation, and life support equipment for the crew are installed. This includes water treatment plants, oxygen production systems, industrial kitchens, and medical areas. With the ship structurally complete, internal tests of the electrical, hydraulic, and control systems are performed. Each circuit is verified independently before being connected to the general network. The propulsion systems are tested under controlled conditions to detect vibrations, unusual noises, or efficiency losses. When the aircraft carrier is ready to leave the dry dock, a controlled launch is carried out. The hull is introduced into the water for the first time and its initial stability is checked. This phase allows verification of buoyancy, weight distribution, and the overall behavior of the structure under real conditions. After the launching, the manufacturing process continues with a stage of sea trials. Maneuverability, rudder response, propulsion system performance, and the ship's stability in different sea conditions are evaluated. At the same time, the electrical systems are tested under real load, and the operating parameters of the aircraft launch and recovery equipment are adjusted. Finally, structural endurance tests are conducted to simulate extreme conditions. These evaluations confirm that the hull, decks, and internal systems can withstand vibrations, impacts, and stresses equivalent to those they will face during real operations. Once these tests are passed, the aircraft carrier is technically ready for operational incorporation. The entire manufacturing process of a vessel of this type is neither linear nor quick. It involves years of planning, design, modular construction, integration of complex systems, and exhaustive testing. Each phase depends on the previous one, and any modification in the design can affect the whole system. The construction of a large-scale aircraft carrier represents the simultaneous coordination of thousands of specialists, the use of large industrial infrastructures, and the integration of advanced technologies into a single floating platform designed to operate for several decades.